Hi everyone. I just want to do this video real quick because I think there's still so many misconceptions out there about Windows 8. Now we're only about 2 days after launch, and people are probably starting to upgrade like crazy. You're seeing all these ads going all over the place, and you're probably wondering why Windows 8. You know, maybe things are running fine for you with Windows 7 right now. What's the point of all this stuff? You're saying to yourself, I don't like these whole live tiles going on. I don't understand the start screen. Where's my desktop? Where's my start button? I'm freaking out, Microsoft. Why are you doing this to me? So here's what I'm going to do. A couple minutes. I'm kind of upset, to be honest, about all the misconceptions out there. It's just, I mean, the truth is, you are probably going to find a lot of value in Windows 8, and I'll do that in just like 5 minutes. Ready? That's probably a lie. Maybe 10. Here we go. First thing you need to know is this start screen. So you've seen this all over the place already in different reviews and screenshots, but what is it? Well, think about this. In Windows 7, or even XP or Vista or whatever, what do you go to that start button for? I know you're freaking out because you're saying, where did that start button go? But when you think about it, you click the start button, and where do you go? Programs, all programs, you find the program you want, settings, your recent documents, all that kind of stuff. The things you need to get to, you use that start button for. That's what this start screen is. It's everything that you go to that start button for right here at a glance. And you swipe, scroll side by side, and you're able to see all those things, and you pin all these tiles to where you need. So here, you don't check email often, then you probably wouldn't want your email tile there. So you can just select it and unpin from the start. Okay, now you didn't uninstall it, it's just no longer there. It's just like removing a shortcut from your desktop. So you can still get to it. You can still get to mail. You could right click anywhere on the start screen, or swipe up if you're on a touch device, swipe up from the bottom, just like that, and go to all apps and find mail again. So there it is. I'm going to select it by right clicking on it, or just by tugging down on it with my finger. Now it's selected, and I'm going to pin to start. I can do that with any of these other. This is everything on my machine, all the apps that are installed. I could select any of them and pin it to start. So now I want to go back and see if mail is actually back on my start screen. I'm going to swipe from the right of the screen to the left, just like that, and that brings up my charms. I'll talk more about those in a second. I'm just going to hit this start charm, and I can go back to where I was, okay? So mail isn't there anymore, but I did pin it. It's when you pin something to the start screen, it goes all the way to the end. So there it is. I'm going to grab it, I'm going to push up to the top of the screen so it zooms me out. I'm going to drag it back down there to my first little group, and I'll say I want email at the very beginning. And look at that, I have 7 unread emails already. So we can move all these tiles around, we can make these groups. I can say here, Internet Explorer, I want you in your own group. So I'm going to drag it to where that vertical bar appears and let it go. Now it's in its own group, and say maybe I also want maps over there with it, and I don't know, weather too. Okay, so now that's its own group, but you see there's no title. I have a title on that group, I've named it. I've named this group my peeps. I have my media group of tiles, so I've named all those. How do you name this? If you're on a touch device, just pinch and zoom out, just like you're used to doing on your phones already. And you can select this either by right-clicking on it or by swiping down with your finger. You can select this whole group. I can move this whole group anywhere I wanted to, the whole group of tiles. Or just select it, and my only option that comes up down here is to name group. So I'm going to name it, whatever I like. Whatever. Okay, enter. There. Now I have my whatever group, and I zoom back in, and you'll see it's labeled. I don't want it anymore. Let's just tug out. There we go. Move all these tiles out from it, and that group disappears, and now I'm left with what I wanted to. So that's just a basic overview of live tiles. And when you think to yourself that you don't care about, why would I care about live tiles? What's in it for me? What if you don't do Facebook, so you don't care about seeing your friends' pictures pop up? What if you don't do messaging? What if you don't have a shared calendar, and you don't care about seeing your calendar events pop up? Like I need to do my time card tomorrow, for example. These live tiles are showing you new information that matters. So they're staying up to date. If you're connected to the internet, they're pulling down information from the cloud and from the net all the time and staying up to date. These are my Facebook friends. This is my messaging. This is the news I'm subscribed to. Here's the weather in LA, because that's the city I was most recently in. Here's other apps and the third-party Twitter app telling me that I have stuff going on there. That's all cool, but if you don't like live tiles, if say this is too much for you, you don't want your icons and your tiles flipping and flopping and showing you stuff on your start screen, you can select them and turn the live tile off, and it just becomes a static image just like that. Turn live tile off. If you don't want to see it live, that's fine. But for me, I think that's one of the biggest benefits of this screen, because then you can see what's happening at a glance. Okay, so we're reorganizing our start screen. We're making it matter to you. You say to yourself, I'm not into this stuff. I just like sports. Okay, fine. Then your start screen might look something like this. Let's go to apps, sports. There's a built-in sports app. It's pretty good, actually. Pin to start. I'm going to go back to my start screen. As we know, it goes all the way to the end. So let's say if you were totally into sports, then you'd have something like this. Let's select it and make that tile bigger. Okay, great. Now let's go into that app, and I'm going to show you something even cooler. So we're loading up this sports app. It's gonna show up. Okay, great. The news on whatever sports are going on. I don't know, favorite teams that I've pinned, whatever. I can go here, and from within an app, you're gonna say, okay, great. This is a neat looking app. Look at this. It's gorgeous. It's full screen, side to side scrolling. But how do I do anything? Is my only option just to click on stories and read them? How do I actually access anything? What if I don't care about this stuff? What about NFL specifically? Well, from within any app, either swipe up from the bottom or right click, and that brings up your app commands, okay? So it's not wasting the space. The Windows 8 doesn't waste the screen real estate with commands until you need them. There they are, and say, okay, just NFL? Okay, great. So now we're just in NFL, and this is what you want on your start screen? Okay, great. So let's right click again and just pin NFL to your start screen. Now, after we scroll back and see, okay, that's where NFL went, we can keep adding stuff all day long. Different news stories, different news sources about NFL, different whatever. Now you want to go straight to NFL news, just tap that and it takes you right there. Okay, this is the beauty of Windows 8 in my opinion. It's like whatever you care about, put that on your start screen. It's better than a desktop because desktop's just going to be static icons that aren't going to change and keep you up to date. This, pin whatever you like. Are you a new parent like I am? Great. Go to a web source and pin the new parenting section right here and learn about 101 days your infant's going to die in its sleep tonight because that's the only thing you care about right now. Whatever you care about, pin it to your start screen. But for me, I'm not big into sports, so I'm going to select both of those tiles and unpin from start. And then there they go. Okay? So, how am I moving around? Well, I'm on a Samsung Series 7. It's a Windows 7 device right now, and it's a touch device. It's just been upgraded to Windows 8. But you get to access those charms, as we've talked about, just swipe in from the right to the left. And yes, this is really built for touch. Windows 8 is built for touch. You can tell by the size of the icons, by the gestures and everything. But everything you do, you can do with keyboard and mouse. If you're concerned about wanting to upgrade your current machine that's running 7 or XP, and you're thinking, well, I don't want to buy a touch screen or anything like that. Well, look, it's not complicated and it's not cumbersome. With touch, with the mouse rather, if you want to access these charms, everything about touch is with the borders of the screen, going from off the screen, from the bottom up, from the right to the left, that kind of stuff. With mouse, it's all about the corners. So just put your cursor in the upper right hand corner, and you'll see your charms pop up there, and just hover down over them, and just like you would with touch, you just select whichever one you want. And with tiles, you just click and drag with the mouse, and same with touch, click and drag. Right clicking brings up the menus, etc. So if we go over here to our charms, we see 5 of them: search, share, start, devices, and settings, and I'll show you those in a second. But really, the final gesture that is honestly my favorite is cycling through apps. So for instance, let's say we have Internet Explorer open. I'm reading about how to cut a pineapple. Hey, of course, we're in 2012, folks. Of course, there's an entire website devoted to how to cut a pineapple. So right-clicking or swiping up from the bottom brings up the menu. So if you're here in Internet Explorer wondering, how do I open a new tab? How do I go to a different website address? How do I do anything? Because yeah, right now it's just a full screen, nice look of a website. It's not wasting any space. But how do I do anything? Swipe up from the bottom or down from the top. Or if you're on a mouse, just right-click in the blank space, and there are all your commands. You want to open a new tab, there it is. You want to go to a different website address, there you go. You want to copy this, that's how you do this. You swipe up from the bottom, okay? Now to get back home, I go to my charms, and I hit start. And let's say I open up, I don't know, maps. Okay, great. So now we have more than one app open. How do we get back to Internet Explorer? We could, go back, start, go to Internet Explorer. But the best way is just swiping from the left to the right. and just let go, and now you're back to the previous app. Want to go back to Internet Explorer? Watch how quickly you can do it. Just swipe from the left to the right, and there it is. Okay, with the mouse, again, the corner. Just put your cursor in the upper left to have a corner, and you see a preview of the app. Just click it once, and then you go right back to the app you were just in. So I'm in Maps, I'm scrolling, I'm zooming, I'm doing whatever I want. Go back to Internet Explorer. Gets better than that, though. What about cycling through all the apps you have open? Well, just keep going. Look at this. I'm going crazy here. I'm nuts. I can't be stopped. There's Yo Gabba Gabba. It's DJ Lance. There's my Skydrive. And I'm back to Internet Explorer. So you can just cycle all you want. I know that's not very precise, is it? You're just sort of going willy-nilly. Although, admittedly, it is a bit addictive because it's just a natural flow and it's fun to do. And I hope this screen recording is capturing it with the right frames per second so it looks as fluid as it looks to me here. But here I have my cursor. If I want to see all my running apps, put it in your cursor back in the corner and just move down, just like accessing charms on the other side, and you'll see all your currently open apps. How great is that? And go straight to the one you want. But with touch, you can do the same thing. Drag out maps, and instead just push it all the way back in, and that'll show you all your running apps. Okay? So again, cursor, corner, down, or bottom corner, up. Touch, a little bipolar move. I want to switch apps? No, wait, no, I don't. All the way back. Okay? So be a little hesitant there and change your mind at the last second, and that's how you see all your running apps. I'm in Internet Explorer, and when I go to Charms, hit start, I've really only minimized it, haven't I? I haven't closed it, because when I go back into it, it's still exactly where I left off. How do I actually close an app? That gesture is the last one I'll show you, which is from the very top of the screen. You see if I put my cursor up there, it turns into a little hand. You can drag it all the way down, and that closes it. But yes, your hotkeys still work. You want to Alt F4? Go ahead. Alt F4 all day long. If you want to Alt Tab, you can Alt Tab all day long. You know, if you want to hit the Windows key, it'll take you straight back to your start screen. Okay, so your hotkeys still generally all work. So I'm happy to report. But go back into Internet Explorer, and when I close it with touch, I can do the same thing with touch. Just drag it from the top all the way down. You see that dot showing you where my finger is. You can do it as fast and quickly as you want. Okay, it's basic gestures. Now, these charms. This is where the magic is, folks. These charms is how you manage your Windows 8 experience, rather than just moving around and opening and closing apps and moving and customizing your start screen. These charms is where the management takes place. I mean, without them, what time is it? Am I connected to my Wi-Fi network? Where's the printer? All that kind of stuff. You need charms. That's where all that stuff lives. I think a lot of people are going to get a Windows 8 device like this, go home, and seriously, the fear is, how do you connect to a Wi-Fi network? If this is where you find yourself, how do you get to all that stuff? Answer is charms. So, first one, search. Let's do a search for any word. I mean, by the way, search is everything. Search with Windows 7 is pretty great. I hope you're using it. It was awesome. Search with Windows 8, it searches so much more from one place. So no matter where you are, what app you're in, if you're browsing a site, if you're watching a Netflix video, whatever, just go to search and start typing. Let's search for, I don't know, Manhattan. Okay? So it's saying, look, you have no Manhattan apps. You have no Manhattan settings. I can't control a city from my computer, sadly. I'm not dictator of the world yet. We have no Manhattan files. But let's just keep going down the list. Let's search the Windows Store for Manhattan. Look, a Transit New York City app. How cool is that? I didn't have to go to the Windows Store and hit search from within there. I just searched once. I can keep going. Internet Explorer. Search the word Manhattan. There it is. Maps. As you might expect, it's going to pull up, Manhattan, Kansas. I would have gone with the one in New York, but hey, I guess this one's geographically closer to me. News. What's going on in the world of Manhattan? If my internet connection were fast, there it is. Boom. Manhattan Beach District ways easing against whatever the heck's going on. I don't know. So all this stuff's about Manhattan. Remember, you've only searched once. Recipes. Oh, if it pulls up a Manhattan cocktail in this recipes, that would be awesome. So it's searching this recipes app now for the word Manhattan. 22 of them. Hey, here they are. A rye Manhattan, Manhattan honeymoon, shag. Look at this. This is amazing. One place to search. If you're worried about how do I find stuff, how do I, don't worry about it. Just search for whatever context you want to, whatever word you need, and start filtering down. I even have this third-party cocktail app, which of course would pull up similar results. eBay, whatever apps you have installed on your machine, you can search through. And you can customize all this. You can, if you only want 5 apps to be searchable, you can do that. That's no problem. Okay, that's fine. We're gonna go here to back to start and start over. Okay, so that's search. And by the way, it's not just for silly demos like that. What if you get your new machine or you upgrade and you can't figure out how to adjust the brightness of the screen? Well, search for the word brightness. You have no brightness apps, but look down here in settings, you have 9. Great, there are my brightness settings. Whatever you need to search for. You want the whole control panel? Because you can't live without control panel? Fine. Whatever you're doing in Windows 7, you can do in Windows 8, but even simpler. Search for control panel, there it is. Look, apps. Click it, it goes right to control panel. Exact same place you're used to managing your computer in Windows 7, it's right there. And if you love it so much, you can't live without your control panel, it's the only thing you want to see when you start up your computer, then go ahead. Select control panel, pin it to start. So even things that aren't necessarily Windows 8 apps, we go here, control panel. You can even make that its own little tile, make it its own section. Boom. Okay, tap that and you're in. How great is that? So now let's go back here and I want to show you a couple more of these charms. Let's go to this share charm. This is one of those features that is going to change, I believe, how you send a link to a story to your mom. You know, that kind of thing. How do you do it today? Well, you go to, let's go into this, our search for Manhattan, and we're at the Wikipedia page for the cocktail, and we want to send this to someone. What do you do today? We all do this, don't we? Get the URL, copy, and then we go into our email, and then we go to new message, and then we paste the URL in here. Okay, great. And then we send to, all that kind of stuff. I mean, it's not horrible, no one's really complaining, but this is how you share anything in Windows 8. Whatever you're looking at on the screen, you don't have to go through all that rigmarole. You go to your charms, you hit the share charm, and it's going to say, hey buddy, here are the last 5 people you emailed. Do you want to email them again? That's pretty cool, isn't it? Because generally, you probably only send emails to about that many people. But again, you can customize this. You want it to show up the last 20 people you sent messages to? Fine, do it there. So you can send this through mail, through the People app, so that'll be posting it to Facebook or Twitter, or any third-party app that can share it too. So let's just email it to my friend Kyle, top of the list. My link here. Great. It's composing the email. It just popped up on the side. It gives me a subject line all ready to go, a link to the website, and a title of it. And I can just add my own message like, please drink responsibly. Whatever, right? As if Kyle would ever do that. He's a drunkard. Just kidding. So we're scrolling around here. Look at this. It's even giving me a preview of the website, which I can adjust. Just like this is amazing. This is way better than pasting a link into an email. And as you'll see, I hit send. Sorry, Kyle. He's getting all my spam now. I hit send, and it never distracted you from where you were. I never had to switch apps. I never had to copy paste anything. I just hit here's the thing I want to share. Whatever I'm looking at on the screen, hit share and go. Want to post it to Facebook instead? Great. Hit the People app, and then there it is, Facebook, loading the preview, wham, bam, just hit go. You want to go Twitter instead? Okay, cool. Post it to Twitter, okay, and send. So, groovy. Here we are. Back home, and if we go through our charms again, share, and this works for more than just links. You want to share a file, a video, a picture, anything like that. Just hit share, and you're good to go. It'll share it either through your Skydrive account over the cloud, or it'll attach the email to an email. Devices charm is just going to show you what's connected to your computer. Right now, I don't really have anything that's connected. Keep going to settings. When you first click settings, here are the basic things you need to know. My network. Am I connected to a network? That's how I can filter that down and connect to different networks. Volume, your screen brightness. If you don't want notifications to come up, you can hide them right here. This is where you reboot your machine, where you put it to sleep, you hibernate it, all that stuff. You do that right here. And then if you want to dive in deeper, Just go right to your change PC settings and boom, there they are. Now you saw me do it earlier. You can go to your control panel. If you need to tweak with the setting that's not in here, go to your control panel. Anything you're doing in Windows 7, you can do in Windows 8. I mean, that's kind of key for a lot of people to know. It's like, don't be afraid of it. You have your whole desktop still there, all your control panels, all your administrative tools, it's all there. But then you also have this interface, which is so much better for a touch device and so much simpler to get to the stuff that you generally need to go to anyway. So I'm not going to bore you by going through all of this, but for instance, that thing I was talking about with search, there, which apps do you want to be able to search? Yes or no. Same with share. Which apps can share? Yes or no? How many people to put in that list? So all those kinds of immediate settings are available to you right in here. Whoop, back. So let's do something fun now. We have our website open, Manhattan Cocktail, but let's say we wanted to really write an email while we're referencing this website. So we could just share it and add in there, but we want to really compose something while we're reading several websites. Maybe it's a really thorough email or something, and we're referencing a lot of information. Think about, when you're on an iPad or an Android tablet, how you have to do that. You have to, double tap, switch to your mail app, and yada, 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 go back and forth, copy paste. You're never seeing it at the same time. Well, right out of the box, here's what you can do. I have my website open. I'm learning about the origins and histories of the Manhattan Cocktail. I'm going to go up to my apps. Let's go mail. So I could just, switch to mail, or I can put it over here on the side. And now it reformats itself, and I'm able to go, new message over here. And this is still, both sides are totally usable. I'm over here. Let's just say I'm sending a quick email to, I don't know, let's annoy Kyle again. Great. Stuff you gotta know. And this is silly and everything, but the point is, look at this. I'm working side by side on this small touch tablet. I'm actually working side by side, referencing this information over here. I can go back a page. Look at this, how I go back on Internet Explorer. I just drag to the right, and I'm going back a page. And there I am now at my search results before. I can go to a different website. There's the Manhattan Travel Guide, or whatever I care about. Okay, I can keep going, and I can go to different websites that I have pinned, or my favorite websites, go to a different website entirely, like the BBC website. And okay, that's loaded. Maybe I want to type more in my email and less about what's going on the web. Let's just drag this divider over. Now my email is large, and I have more real estate over there. Website still live for me over there on the right, waiting for me to use it. I can still zoom in and interact with it however I want to. Say, never mind, move email back. Let's keep browsing around over here, whatever, and browsing different stories as I'm writing this email. That's kind of amazing. You don't want Internet Explorer up here anymore? Fine. Let's show all those running apps. Let's say we wanted maps now over there. Let's just replace Internet Explorer with maps. Our email is still the same, isn't it? We're still writing this email. We're still composing this because now we're going to send Kyle information about Kansas, Kentucky, or wherever I am, or Manhattan, Kansas, rather. Whatever you're doing, you're actually multitasking. You're not just doing full screen. You're changing the size of the apps, and they're totally reformatting themselves when you do it. A great example of that is something like sports or news apps, where it's like, there it is. But if I move it over, it's now just showing me the current game schedule, because that's all. I can filter it by different sports. So it totally reformats itself while it's over there. But then when I want more of that app, I move the divider over, and boom, I'm able to totally interact with it like this. So experiment with that. It's a lot of fun. Excuse me. And where it really gets magical is when you need to get stuff done. We need to work. So I can quit sports by just dragging it all the way down. Now there's nothing there for me. So let's go ahead and kill this email as well. When we go to our desktop, which is still there, and please pardon this red blinking line. That's part of the program that's recording this movie right now, this screen recording. So I go to my desktop. Fans of Portal out there, just, a little call out to you. you're doing work, you know, you have files open, your Explorer windows are open, you're snapping windows side by side. You can even run Internet Explorer in this view here in the desktop. So you're doing all your work, you're copying files, you're going crazy, doing your taxes, whatever you crazy coots are doing out there. But where it gets amazing is you get to do stuff like this, because you have all this Windows 7 functionality, haven't you? You can pin things, you can right click and go nuts and create new folders and whatever you like. But while you're doing all this, you can, let's say, snap an app to the side and interact with that app over here while you're in your desktop working on your PowerPoint presentation over here. And think about that if you're on a tablet doing something like, I don't know, running Netflix. You got DJ Lance talking to you over here. I told you I have a 14-month-old daughter, so my entire life is orbited around Yo Gabba Gabba. So I'm playing Yo Gabba Gabba over here, but I want to work. It's still playing, isn't it? I still have the app running right there. So let's just throw DJ Lance over on the side while I'm working over here. This is, I mean, for those of us who've owned iPads and Android tablets forever, this is something we've wanted to do forever, is watch a movie. I'm doing my expense report over here. I'm watching Arrested Development over here. Or, let me just turn this down. Or, hey, I'm watching my training video over here, and I'm taking notes on it over here in the desktop. That's what's crazy. Oh, this is the part of the episode I really want to watch. Let's just move the slider over. Boom. Now it's fuller screen. And I saw all the windows I have open in my desktop over here on the right. When I want to go back to it, I just click on one of them. Slider moves automatically over. And I'm able to keep working in the desktop. So, seriously, whatever you're doing in Windows 7, do it in the desktop over here. But then on top of that, you have all the awesome stuff. This, in my opinion, is why Windows 8. This is it. Why you want Windows 8, because you can do stuff like this. Because you have DJ Lance talking to clouds and Muno running around in the rain while you are, you know, playing around and checking out the task manager over here in your desktop. Okay, so it's a lot of fun, and it's the best way to work. So let's just kill poor Muno and Fufa over there, and we're back to our start screen. So that's multitasking, and it also, of course, goes without saying that it works with games. Wordament, a lot of fun. Let's see. I'm just playing some games here. Great. But I want to keep working. Let's just dock the desktop over there. Slide this over. This whole game reformats itself to be usable while I'm working over here. And I'm playing with my apps. I'm playing with my files, all that kind of stuff. I'm still working over here. This is still, what I'm doing. And especially for a game like this where it's turn by turn, I'm distracted trying to do this while I'm talking to you guys. And I'm not being very impressive, I know. I apologize. So time's up over there on my game. Now let's go back to work. La-di-da. The next round will start in 40 seconds. I'm working. I'm copying documents. I'm making new folders. I'm working in QuickBooks. I'm editing my Photoshop file. Whatever I'm doing over here, I'm also using the power of Windows 8 to do stuff like this over there. That's the point. Now let's move the slider over, and that's done. Back home. Okay. Last thing I want to talk about briefly is Skydrive. Not so much about storing all your documents on the cloud. That's really great, and I mean, I would love to do an entire video just on that. But what Skydrive does for Windows 8 is it syncs your entire machine to the cloud, meaning all your settings. If you lose this computer, you get another one. As long as you sign in with your Microsoft account, you're good to go, because all those settings come back. So if I go into settings, change PC settings, and go to sync your settings section right here, it's saying, yes, I would like to sync the settings on this PC. Which ones you want to set? Well, here, go crazy. Whichever ones of these you want it to sync. Passwords, your browser history, your app settings, Windows settings, like how fast your mouse moves, and all the different like Windows 7 type Explorer settings. All those are saved and with your Microsoft account. Think of it like when you have your iPhone and iPad, you have an Apple ID that keeps track of all your app purchases and all that kind of stuff. And when you get another iPad, you sign in with your Apple account, and a lot of your settings come back down. Similar with this, but even more so because it's all your Windows 7 type settings that are coming down also. It's truly phenomenal, and I just encourage you to do it because it never becomes valuable until you lose your machine and you sign back in and all your stuff comes back. All your settings, all the apps that you've paid for, you can just install them all with one click on that machine as well. And this whole user account thing, remember, we're on a Windows machine. So even if you're on a tablet, hey, just click this, switch users to someone else, log out, create a new user. Everyone in their family has their own user account. Your kid has an account with Child Protective Services built in. Just kidding. Maybe not Child Protective Services, but parental controls built in. So they have their own account with their own live tiles, with their own stuff that you have let them do. And I don't know. I just think that's pretty great because then not everyone in the house has to, have their own device if they don't want to, because you'll have Windows 8 running on the desktop, running on the tablet, running on the laptop, and you sign into each of them as you move from one to the other, and all your stuff is the same. It's a consistent experience on all of them. So that's really the magic there. All right. I don't want to bore you with more gory details, but if you have any specific questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'd be happy to help. But the whole point of this is just to get you excited enough to not fear, trying it, because all the misconceptions, the biggest one I think is that the desktop even exists. People are saying, how am I going to run QuickBooks? How am I going to run Photoshop? Well, you run it just like you're doing it in Windows 7. The same way, right here. You can go to all your same settings. You want to adjust the screen resolution? Great. This is a very familiar place to find yourself. If you need all this functionality, it's there for you. So investigate it, play with it, understand charms and how to get to them, the gestures, and you will have a ball. So let me know if you have any questions, and hey, it's been real. Ciao.